Welcome to the Silver and Black Show. In this week's overview, brought to you by Hawaiian Airlines, Jim and I get you ready for a matchup against the Green Bay Packers. I sit down with playmaking wide receiver Trevor Davis, and Chris Townsend joins head coach John Gruden in studio to break down some film. All that and more on the Silver and Black Show, starting right now.
I think they got a really good quality football team. When you cut on the tape, you certainly play hard. I've got a lot of respect. I know I worked with Greg Olson, their offensive coordinator in LA, so I know him well. I know Paul Gunther, and then obviously Coach Gruden, his accolades kind of speak for themselves. So I think they got a lot of talented players. They've got really quality coaching, so our guys are going to have to get mentally and physically ready to go.
You know, Paulie is a disciple and coaching acquaintance of Mike Zimmer. So there's some of the stuff that they did in Cincinnati over the years with some double mug pressures that they can do. They will adjust their scheme. You know, they will do some of that Cincinnati, Minnesota stuff, and then they will, come with some designer looks every single week. Obviously, it's a bye week, so you have to expect kind of the unexpected looks. But I think they play really well together. They're a very sound defensive team. They obviously study the little things like splits and backfield alignments and stuff to try and hone in on your tendencies, but they're a very well coached team.
The Raiders are back to work and back on the road. Destination Lambeau Field. Welcome to the Silver and Black Show. I'm your host, Nicole Zaloumis, alongside our two-time Super Bowl champion, Jim Plunkett. Jim, the Raiders have spent more time on the road than they have at home, but as John Gruden said, it doesn't matter what time zone they play in, they're getting it done. What does it say about this team?
Well, so far they've been a pretty good road team. I think that, they get ready, they get prepared. It doesn't matter where you play, as Gruden says. You get prepared, you go on the attack, and hopefully you'll come out with a victory.
Well, you know firsthand what the environment is like at Lambeau Field. Take us through your experiences there and what the Raiders can prepare for.
Well, it's always tough to play at Lambeau Field. It's got a great history. Vince Lombardi, Jim Taylor, Bart Starr. The list goes on, and it's right in the middle of town, basically. You're driving by homes that have their chairs out, they're drinking beer, they're having a good time, they're cooking food. And it's a tough environment once you get in there. As I said, the history is tremendous. I was a big Bart Starr fan growing up, and they're going to have to be prepared. And plus, Green Bay is a very good football team with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. And it's on the road again. They should be used to it by now. And, I think they'll fare well at Green Bay.
Well, they're facing Aaron Rodgers, but in watching that game against the Lions, this isn't the Aaron Rodgers-led offense that you're used to with the Packers. He's relying more on the run game. It seems as if Aaron Rodgers, not having the targets that he's used to, is laboring a little bit more. How can the Raiders take advantage of that?
I don't know how much he's laboring. I think that run game is really helping Aaron Rodgers in a lot of respects. Yeah, they've run a lot more this year than they have in the past. A new head coach. That's probably the emphasis. But Aaron Rodgers is still doing his magic. He's getting out of the pocket. He's getting out of trouble. He's running for a first down, or he's finding a receiver down the field. He's still the guy to contend with. You got to, try to contain him as much as possible. Not easy to do. Very few teams are able to do that. But, you have to find a way, and that's by, shutting down the run, making them have to pass in certain situations, and that will help.
Is this a product of him not having the targets because they haven't gotten through the season unscathed when it comes to his wide receivers, or is this designed? Because you look at it and he's on pace to throw 60 fewer passes than last year.
And that's because of the run game. They're emphasizing the run more and more this year. And I think personally, I think that's a good thing for any football team to be able to run the ball. In a lot of instances, it certainly helped the Raiders in the last 2 weeks. And it helps Aaron Rodgers as well.
Well, let's look at our run game. When it comes to Josh Jacobs, what do you expect to see out of him? Do you want him involved more in the passing game?
No, I want him to continue to run the ball. Over 100 yards last week or 2 weeks ago in London. He was very dominant, and I think if we're going to beat the Packers, that's going to have to be one way to do it. Being able to run the football. Don't put Derek Carr in obvious passing situations, long yardage situations on second and third down. Run the football, keep it away from Aaron Rodgers as much as possible, and they've been great time of possession over the last 2 games. Almost 2-1, but not almost. But and that's a great way to keep that other offense off the field.
What are some other keys to a victory at Lambeau? Areas that they can exploit?
Well, exploit. As I said, they're going to have to run the football. Not make the turnovers they did 2 weeks ago in London. one on the 1 foot line, one in their own territory. Keep the mistakes to a minimum. But look for your opportunities down the football field. There are opportunities to get the ball down to the receivers out there, and look to that. But try to keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers as much as possible.
Well, and it's always nice to have a week of rest, but you also get Gabe Jackson back, so that's a nice breath of fresh air.
It's a big plus for this Raiders offensive unit, so maybe they'll be able to run the ball even more. But Gabe, has missed obviously the beginning of this season. He should be fresh and ready to go, and hopefully he's healthy and in shape. It's hard to get in shape when you're injured, but I'm sure they've worked on that extensively. And I'm just looking for a mistake-free game if we can get one against this very, very good Green Bay Packer football team.
There's also a new receiving threat. We're going to talk about him a little bit later in the show. We have to take a break here, but more Silver and Black show coming up.
I mean, it still hasn't really hit me yet, I guess, but to be able to sign this and provide myself some security and just be a part of a family, really be a part of a team. Didn't really consider my actions in previous years, and now to have somebody really want me to be here is really crazy, and I really don't know what to say. I've just been reflecting all day, and I don't know, man. I just really can't put it into words. It's crazy. Raider Nation, I'm gonna give you all I got. It's gonna be the real me, truest form. Being part of this family is a part of me now. I feel like I'm a part of Raider Nation. We all in this together. It's not us just going out there playing by ourselves. It's y'all putting the energy behind us and all the love and everything. And I'm just appreciative to be here for a few more years. And like I said, I'm gonna give you everything I got because I treat every day like it's my last. And I just appreciate y'all welcoming me into the family. So let's go Raiders.
How about Darren Waller? You gave your tight end an extension, and boy, has he been special for you this year. It doesn't even have a drop pass this season.
No, he's done a lot more than catch passes, too. I mean, Townie, he is an outstanding blocker. He's a very good pass protector. He's smart and one of the truly great human beings you're ever going to meet. And he's overcome a lot. It's been well documented. But if anybody was deserving of a contract like that, it's Darren Waller, and I know Raider fans are excited to watch him over the next few years.
Yeah, what a great target for Derek Carr. The size, the speed, the hands, you can't beat it.
You can't, and he's only getting better. This is his first year really starting at the position, so when you think about the upside of Darren Waller, we had to pull this trigger.
Last year we talked a lot about pass rush. You're starting to get a pass rush, and it's good to see from guys that you drafted. Your draft classes are starting to come together, and let's talk about Crosby.
Well, we drafted these guys, you included, Townie. We're happy with Crosby. It really started in the Indianapolis game when he got a lot of playing time. He earned more playing time against the Bears. But on the right side of your screen, you see number 98 working against Leno, a very good tackle. It's a power rush, and just a great second effort to the inside, getting his first NFL sack. This young man is playing better and better, and it's his energy level that we feed off of. He can play right end or left end. He's got some power to him, but you see that length, those long arms, and the ability to close that really separate Crosby. We like him a lot.
Yeah, 4th round pick with just a motor, just nonstop. You have to love that.
He does. He's going to get better and better. And I talk a lot about our second-year players too. P.J. Hall, Mo Hurst. Got home a couple times against the Bears, and when you get an outside rush and you got an inside rush, you have the ability to have a great pass rush, and that came alive for us in London. Hopefully it continues against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
And do you really see that from the first year to the second year when you see the light go on with these guys?
No, you really do. A lot of times these rookies come in, they're from small colleges, they have a very small inventory of football. They don't have spring practice. A lot of them are juniors that are coming out. So they're inexperienced. So the experience, the reps, all the time invested pays off eventually, and we're starting to see that with our young defensive line.
So we're going to Green Bay to take on the Packers, and it's not something you normally see when a guy actually grew up in Green Bay going to play the Packers as your undrafted rookie out of Wisconsin, Alec Ingold. He's going back home, truly going back home.
No doubt. He played high school quarterback in Green Bay, and number 45 is a guy I'm sure they wish they'd have kept home. But what a job Ingold has done for us, Townie, in the hole as an escort to Josh Jacobs. He doesn't get much credit, but he's been able to find his target. He's been physical at the point of attack. And last week against Chicago, if you really study the tape, Ingold did a lot of great things that went unnoticed to some. But here he is against Akeem Hicks, one of the great interior players. He's helping Trent Brown on our outside zone. Watch him put him right back on Trent's body. That's pretty good stuff right there. Alec Ingold, he's going to show us how to eat bratwurst and where to go and give us a tour of Green Bay, but he's a heck of a kid and a great young fullback.
And I know Green Bay means a lot to you. Spent some few years there. Deuce was born there, wasn't he?
He was. I had my first son in Green Bay, and it's a great environment to coach. You know, it's such great tradition. You know that. The Raiders, Packers, two of the global NFL brands that are going to come together 1 o'clock on Sunday. Should be a lot of fun. We have our hands full, but our players are playing with confidence, and our coaches have done an excellent job preparing them.
And you've watched him for years. Aaron Rodgers is a very special player.
Yeah, he's not slowing down. It seems like the bigger the moment, the better he plays. Last week against the Lions, they're down by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. He finds a way. He can still scramble. A lot of things have changed in Green Bay. Head coach, even their uniforms. They're wearing white on white the other day. The receivers are different, but Aaron Rodgers' performance remains the same. We're going to have to be at our best.
What was that car? What you picked up Brett Favre in, like a
Datsun?
Datsun?
A LeSabre. I picked him up, and I remember Mariucci says, "Who the hell is Brett Favre?" I go, "I don't know." But what a time that was, 1992. As we began the process of turning the Packers around, it all started with Holmgren and Ron Wolf making that trade for Brett Favre, and that was a lot of fun for 3 years.
A rematch of Super Bowl II. Let's go get a win in Green Bay, Coach.
Great to see you, Townie.
3 wide plus Waller. Here comes the end around. And this is the young man Davis, his first carry cross midfield. And he's gone to the 30-yard line. Still going. It's going to be a touchdown. 60 yards. Trevor Davis. Welcome to the Raiders, my man.
With nagging injuries to the receiver position, Derek Carr was in need of additional weapons. Well, he found one in Martinez native Trevor Davis, who immediately made an impact for the Silver and Black. How are we doing today?
Doing good.
All right. Martinez, born and raised, right?
Yes, born and raised.
So this is home for you.
Definitely.
How does it feel? Well, here's the funny thing. You haven't even really been home because you started on the road, this epic road trip that the Raiders had.
That's true.
When you found out the news that you were joining the Silver and Black, what did it feel like?
That was crazy. It was kind of like a dream come true. A lot of my friends are Raiders fans, so they kind of joked with me along my career for like 3 years now, like, "Oh man, you're gonna be on the Raiders one day." And it just seemed like, nah, it's out of 31 teams, how am I gonna just go home? And then next thing you know, I get that call that I'm coming home, and that was really crazy.
Okay, so you grew up in Martinez. You have friends that are Raiders fans.
Family
but
too.
You didn't grow up a Raiders fan. You grew up an Eagles fan, if I'm correct. And is there a family connection there?
Yeah, Donovan Mcnabb is my cousin, so I grew up watching him. I've been to a Niners game and watched him when I was real young and became an Eagles fan since.
So Donovan McNabb, obviously a household name, is your cousin. Big shoes to fill in the family, but you're filling them well. I mean, is this a guy that you grew up watching? Was he your hero, or guys that played with him?
Basically, I mean, the work ethic, he always was gone for family reunions and things like that. Because,
and he's hysterical.
Yeah.
I used to work with him. He's a funny guy.
I got to see him at last year's game. Was it last year against the Eagles? So got to talk with him a little bit, but he's always on the go. So being able to see him now that he's not in the NFL and come to family reunions, it was nice, and pick his brain, figure out how he became so great.
Let's go back to your first game as a Raider, because you had that 60-yard run that was just phenomenal. Take me through that play for you.
That was a reverse, which I've done a lot of, especially being in Green Bay. They kind of tagged me as being that reverse and trying to get the ball in my hands guy. And I ran that reverse and, I mean, caught the ball and saw just a free lane. And then I saw, pretty sure, Waller in front of me, and he's a great blocker, blocked that guy, and from there I was home free.
I mean, you literally burst on the scene, because in my household, and I know in a lot of Raiders fans' households, they're like, who is this guy?
Yeah, not a lot of people probably knew of me at that point. They probably didn't even know that I existed at that point. But yeah, it was nice to finally get my first play, or at least my first touch, to be a touchdown.
Well, they do know who you are now. Take me through the London game, because that was also a lot of success for you.
Yeah, man, that was really fun, going out there to play. I mean, I haven't been out of the country that much. I've only been to Mexico once, and then going there and being my first time out of the country, getting to play a game out there, seeing that it was sold out. And it was like a big NFL vibe out there, and just being able to go to the game and have a successful game and a win was really great.
So you're with a new team, new teammates, new coaching staff, playing in London. How did you acclimate so quickly? Because it seems like you fit right in.
Just really dove in the playbook hard. It's a lot of opportunity when it comes to the NFL, and I mean, I saw a lot of opportunity here, and they traded me to, come here and try to make an impact, so I really wanted to do that. So I came in, and I didn't want to have any doubt that I didn't know any plays or doubt that, I could do this, can't do this. I want to show that I can do everything. It could be reverse, kickoff return, punt return, whatever they need me to do, I can do it.
There you go. If I'm 20.
Now, what are your impressions of Derek Carr working with him in the few weeks that you have?
It's been fun. I mean, he makes the huddle real fun, playing with him. I have previous knowledge of him from Devontae Adams, my former teammate, that was his receiver in college, so he's told me a lot about him, and I've met him before, so I mean, being able to play with him is just a real fun player.
On a personal note, what is life like for you? I know on Instagram you're really proud of your two boys, twins. They're adorable. What's life like at home?
Oh man, it's the dad life for the most part. I mean, twins it's rough, but it's fun. My kids are really good boys, so I mean, they go to bed when you tell them to, basically. They don't cause any ruckus, so it's just really all fun all the time. The only thing that could ever be hard is just the fact that they want to have too much fun all the time, and sometimes I'm drained, but it is what it is. I've been doing it since, I was flying them back to Green Bay week on, week off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, when they were like 6 months old, so it's kind of easier now that they're 4.
You dressed up as, was it a Super Mario theme?
Yeah.
Okay, take me through the costume, and then of course Halloween's coming up, so what's in the works for this Halloween?
I was gonna take suggestions, but now that they're older, they already have their mindset on what they already want to be, so I can't.
Can you reveal it to us?
That. No, that's gonna be revealed later. Yeah.
On Instagram, what's your handle so everyone knows?
Trevor 9 Davis.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But the boys, they already had their ideas. I asked them what they wanted to be, and it was right off the top, they already knew. So.
Are you in or are you out?
Oh, I'm always in.
Okay,
good. Yeah, for sure.
Until the year that you're no longer in, and then the twins don't want to twin anymore, and then that's heartbreaking.
No, I don't think that'll ever happen. I think I'm going to be in forever. That's just me.
Take me through high school in Martinez, Cal Berkeley, but before Cal, you were in Hawaii, played 2 years there. What was your college experience like? I know that you were really close with Jared Goff.
Yeah. 2 years in Hawaii, transferred to UC Berkeley for more exposure, things like that, and to really come home, and it was a lot easier that way. New coaches on the coaching staff, and being able to play with Jared, he's a really good quarterback, fun to play with. Had a lot of guys that went to the NFL, some that are still in the NFL. Just being around them really helped me to push and be better. And
now you're heading back to Lambeau. Can you prepare us for what we can expect?
It's a loud atmosphere. It's a great football atmosphere for sure. They're going to sell out the stadium no matter what every single game, and just really a loud game. They're coming in, I think, 4-1, 5-1 now, 4-1. So of course the fans are going to be out there. They're going to be loud, and they're really going to want to see Aaron win.
I can't even see you in Green Bay gear. You just fit right into the Raiders and the silver and black.
It's going to be cool to be out there and be on the other side and feel the atmosphere from opposing team.
So what are your goals now as a member of the Silver and Black this season? What do you hope to achieve?
For the most part, I'm just wanting to help the team win, whatever I can do. I have personal set goals, with a certain amount of catches, things like that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As long as we're winning, that's all I really want to do.
Football days? What do you do during the bye week?
I'm going to teach Xate Jones some plays today, and I'm going to come in tomorrow and teach Xate Jones some more plays.
That guy loves football. He loves the game of it. He's one of the hardest working men that I've seen. We hit the playbook pretty hard, going over everything, just trying to get me caught up to speed. Offense is very complex, a lot of stuff that goes into it. Guys have been here since training camp, and I've been here only for a few days, so I'm trying to catch up to the pace that they're at.
Gruden had some extra work during the bye week as they welcome wide receiver Zay Jones to the team. The trade with the Buffalo Bills for a 2021 draft pick. And here you are entering week 7, a new wide receiver. There's a lot of catching up that Zay and Derek will have to do.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They'll spend some extra time together, both before practice and after practice, trying to get their timing down, trying to get all the plays in, along with Trevor Davis. You work them in slowly, and hopefully, they'll catch on quickly. And I'm sure they will, but Z Jones had a great year last year, and that's saying something about it. He's got a lot of ability, a lot of talent.
You mentioned Trevor Davis and Xate Jones. It seems like they're trying to bring in guys that can help Derek Carr no matter what time of the season it is.
Yeah, absolutely. A little thin now on receivers, so bringing these guys in, some with Xate Jones with some experience. They should click pretty pretty quickly, spending a little time before and after practice, getting their timing down, learning the plays. It'll all work out.
And a new environment, it's kind of a nice situation for Xate, because anytime new regime comes in and you're not their guy, it seems like Mike Mayock had nothing but great things to say about him. He obviously impressed him in the past, so he's embraced by Raider Nation.
Yeah, and he had an excellent season last year. He had 56 receptions, 652 yards, and 7 TDs. That's very productive. So, they saw something there that they felt would help this team and help Derek Carr.
Because of the learning curve, though, how much are we going to see from Zay Jones? And, Trevor Davis, he just stepped right up and was making plays. Are we going to see that from Zay as well?
Well, that I can't answer, but, hopefully, he'll be a big part of this football team. They traded for him for a reason, because he's an excellent wide receiver, and he should be able to help Derek Carr in this offense move.
Well, thankfully, Jim, that road trip is going to be coming to a close in one more week. The Raiders will be returning home. Make sure you join us next week as they close it out on the road in Houston. On behalf of Jim Plunkett and all of us here at Silver and Black Productions, I'm Nicole Zaloumis. Thanks for watching.